Well, I finally made it to 1,000 subscribers, so a huge thank you to all of you, especially those who take the time to comment and actually watch my videos. You make it all worthwhile, so cheers for that. But now, on to the questions, and they're in no particular order, but the most popular question was why and when did I move to the US? That's from Captain Cranky, O2 Big Kev, and Crud Melder 24. Well, my wife is originally from the US and she moved to England with her job, and we worked in the same building, so that's how we met. We got married a couple of years later, moved forward 10 years, and my wife's getting a little homesick for the US. She's missing the mountains, the guaranteed summers, and her family. So we decided to move over here. And we had the choices of Denver, Colorado, Tucson, Arizona, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. And after doing a road trip through all of them, we decided to move here. And that was in 2010. Also from Captain Cranky, do I have any family back in Blighty, and how often do I get home? For those you don't know, Blighty is just an old nickname for Britain. Yeah, I've got mum back home in England, my younger sister is there, and my middle sister lives in Spain. And I normally try to get home once every couple of years, but it's pretty expensive, so I'm not sure how often I'll keep that up. From Hawk Girl, what's the most beautiful place that I've seen while out riding my motorcycle? Well, I couldn't possibly put it down to one place. I've done so much travelling on my bike. Just a brief synopsis of beautiful places I've ridden: the Alps, the Black Forest of Germany, west coast of Scotland, pretty much any of the national parks in the US, Pacific Coast Highway, and the Canadian Rockies. They're probably some of my favourite places I've ridden. Keith Wong, the infamous Keith Wong, asked how did I get my channel name? Well, it was all down to a mistake on my part. I originally used a name that I've always used for like emails and gaming channels, but this was at a time when YouTube let you split YouTube and Google+, so I split them up because I didn't think I'd ever use Google+. Next time I tried to log on, it said, sorry, that YouTube name doesn't exist. So I tried to re-sign up with that name, and it said, sorry, that name already exists. So I couldn't use that name apparently. So I just tried to think of something off the top of my head. I've ridden Triumph for the last 4 bikes, and my original, or my name that I was given by my family is Anthony, so they shortened that to Ant, so Triumph Ant. Shadetree shirts, sorry mate, Shadetree Surgeon. The story of how I lost my virginity. Really? It's funny you should ask that, because I wrote a screenplay for the first time I lost it, the only time I lost it. And Hollywood turned it into a blockbuster, starring Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger. You may have seen it, it was called 9.5 Weeks. Of course, they made a few changes to my title. My original screenplay was called 9.5 Seconds. Da-dum! Question from Mudpug. What's your first motorcycle? It was a Honda CBR 400 Hurricane, which was a great import into the UK from the US. They didn't officially sell them there. It's not a bad bike actually. And then also asks, how is it possible to have such a brilliant voice? Thank you so much. I would blush with the embarrassment if it wasn't for the next comment by Gradmelder24. The sound of your voice reminds me of Phil Collins. Phil Collins? Soopabee. Mr. B asks, do the British really love tea, fish and chips and pubs? Now I was about to accuse him of stereotyping my home nation. And then I realised the answer to all three questions is yes. I drink tea every day. I eat fish and chips quite a lot. You can get it in a load of places in the US. Although mushy peas haven't made it across the Atlantic, at least not in restaurants. And pubs, actually pub life is probably one of the things I miss most about living in England. Being able to walk between multiple pubs in almost any size town. SugarHighRider asks, how has riding motorcycles changed my life? I've met so many really nice people who are either bikers or have met through biking. And also, there's so many places that I would never have got to if it wasn't for taking bike trips. And so many places to see on the way to those destinations. It's life-changing, it really is. What did I do for employment across the pond? I used to work for the British government, what they call a civil servant. Unfortunately, I can't go into the specific details of what I did. Not that anyone would be particularly interested. But yeah, I work for the government. And when I plan my next adventure, do I want some company? Yeah, of course, mate. I'm thinking this year's might be a big loop of the Southwest. So like Colorado, Utah, Arizona. So when I finalise my rough route of where I'm going to go, I'll publish it on Facebook, and if you want to join me for some of it, you're more than welcome. The more the merrier. OhioHondaRider asks, in your opinion, what lengths of video do best? And how do you get noticed and get subs? Well, personally, I try to keep most of my videos around the 3-minute mark. A couple of reasons. One, they require a lot of editing to cut out all the messes I make of it. And secondly, I think new viewers and therefore potential subscribers are likely to click on a shorter video than a longer video. I mean, there's people who got to 1,000 a lot quicker than I did, so I don't know if that works or not, but it's a lot less work for me. How do you get new subs? Simple, you just gotta keep making good content. Cut out anything that's superfluous in your video. People hate when you're rambling on or lots of pauses in a video. And join motovlog.com and ask and answer questions on there. People will find you. But there's an awful lot of luck involved. Thunderous71 asks, fracking, is it a good thing? Oh, thank you, mate. I kind of think it's a short-term solution to a longer-term problem. How much rather than money and investment be put into cleaning up fossil fuel energy production and investing into greener sources. RC62, my current vlogging setup, do I like it, and would I change to anything else if I had the chance? Actually, I really like my drift setup. I know GoPros are supposed to have better quality, but for YouTube I like the streamlined look of the drift on the side of the helmet. I couldn't have the chin mount because I've got one open face helmet and one modular helmet, so it wouldn't work on those. Akshay Sachdeva asks, who's your favourite motovlogger and why? I don't think I could name one. I've got a few which I really like. Who and what inspired me to start motovlogging? I was riding through Europe with my wife on the back, and she started filming when we were going through some of the more scenic areas. And I thought it looked amazing when I looked at it afterwards. I thought, what a great idea to film while you're riding a bike. So I looked online, found motovlogging was a thing, and the first motovlogger I saw was Baron von Grumble doing his back road muddy ride on his Gixxer. And so yeah, Baron von Grumble was the guy who I first saw and got me into it, but I wouldn't have thought of it without my wife filming from the back seat, so they both take equal credit. Best moment of my life. Okay, picture the scene. I'm in the State Opera House in Prague, the Czech Republic. The intermission of La Traviata, the opera. And I ask my then girlfriend to marry me, and she agreed. So Mrs. Triumphant agreeing to marry me is the best moment of my life. Favourite food? Oh, that's got to be a curry. I'd say vindaloo, preferably with lamb or goat meat, and pretty hot, pretty spicy. About an 8 out of 10 on the spice scale, if there is such a thing. OldManTony asks, UK or USA? Well, in regards to motorcycle riding, I would say UK, where I lived in the north of England. The sheer quantity and quality of twisties that were really close to the house. 5-10 minutes away, some amazingly twisty roads. So I like that about the UK. In the US, specifically New Mexico, it's got to be the weather. You can seriously ride 12 months of the year here. A few days you probably couldn't ride because of the snow, but seriously, as long as you're wrapped up in the middle of winter, you can ride all year. Probably 300 plus days of sunshine a year. I think they actually call this a cloudy day. So, yeah, both have their ups. Okay, I'm going to have to read this one. Skywave 400 LTD ABS asks, plenty of questions. What's your favourite musician? I don't know about musician, but I'm like an 80s guy, so it's got to be a toss up between Tears for Fears or The Cure. What are my favourite sweets? Dark chocolate, 70% plus cocoa, whichever one. Really dark. And organic, of course. And fair trade. What's my favourite movie actor? I don't know, so I've got a favourite movie actor. If you ask me about directors, I'd say Christopher Nolan, J.J. Abrams, and Luc Besson. Not that you did ask me that, but Johnny Depp, when he's making a good movie, not his bad movies. Chris Pratt, he's funny, I like him. What is your biggest hobby? We like hiking a lot, especially since we've moved here. There's brilliant hiking weather and hills, mountains, so many trails. I I really love travelling though, whether it's within the US or outside. I can't get enough of it. What do I dislike about myself? I guess I wish I was more outgoing, especially if I meet new people. I can be a bit quiet, kind of shy. People can think I'm being a bit standoffish, but until I get to know people, or unless I've had a couple of drinks, I can be a bit quiet. So yeah, wish I was a bit more gregarious. Evil Droid asks, that's a cool name by the way, how many miles have I got on my Tiger? It's about 26,600. I bought it new in 2012, so that's all me. That's about approximately 43,000 kilometers. Which ADV bike would I buy after this? I like the look of the Ducati Multistrada, the smaller engined one. Burley Jack asks, do you ever have days when I just don't feel like riding? Yeah, of course. Especially if the weather is particularly cold outside. Or just sometimes too lazy. Just can't be bothered getting into all my gear to go out for a ride. Although I will say, if I ever feel like that and I do go out, I never regret it. Always feel good when I'm out on the bike. Is it awkward for people that I'm close to watch my videos? Or for me to ask them to watch my videos? I'll put it this way, Burley Jack. I haven't told a single member of my family or close friends that I motovlog because of how awkward I would feel, and because they would take the piss. I know it. Friends and family take the piss if they knew I was a motovlogger. My wife's told a few people on her side of the family, but I don't think they do watch many of them. I don't think they're really into it. Okay, a few questions from people just before I got to my 1,000 subs. Loops2 asks, if I get stuck at 999 subs, what will I do? Well, I actually did get stuck in the 900 for a while. Sub count went up and down a few times. I was beginning to wonder if it would ever happen. Moto Misc asks, how will I celebrate my 1,000? I celebrated it by drinking a bottle of wine. So, I celebrate it like I celebrate every evening. Ibanez Pick asks, how does it feel? It feels really good. I was really happy when I got to 100 subs. That was a you haven't failed kind of mark. And finally, Martin Brown asks, why is it okay to eat 2 separate pieces of toast with butter on them, but it's not okay to put those pieces of toast together to form a sandwich with just butter in it? Why does that freak people out? I never knew it did freak people out. Are they sure you're putting the 2 pieces of bread together symmetrically? You have to match. Crusts line up. Well, that's it. That's the end of my Q&A. All questions answered. Well, until next time, this is TRIUMFANT signing out.